disconnected us because you know how it can be. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the most amazing, one of the most creative individuals out there. I've been lurking on her platform, her Twitch streams for the past couple of streams and checked out some of her VODs. But Kyles, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Oh gosh, that was a really nice introduction. Holy cow. Thank you. Hello. Yes, I'm Kyles McGiles. I am not the official VA for Amelia. I'll just let you all know. That's a lovely joke people love to make. I am the web novel Arc 5 live reader of Amelia for Studio Reverie. I'm a VTuber, a voice actor, and yeah, that's me. And I'm so excited to come here today. So thank you for having me, Ed.
No, well, thank you for being here. And honestly, when you reached out, right, because I don't even know how the connection happened. I just know that instantly I saw your name and I saw that you did Twitch and I was like, we have to go do a self-care raid. This was my first thing because you know how I go into your streams with Doritos and stuff?
Yeah, I love the Doritos.
So before even like knowing who you were or what you did, like someone recommended like your stream to me and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go check it out. And I'm like, this is gonna be someone that we go and we drop in like everyone with all the self-care raid and making sure that we can like get our community there. And then come to find out, hey, you're this incredibly like talented individual with like, oh, first off, you're hilarious, but with like a lot to go ahead and give. So I have a lot of questions for you. Are you down to get started?
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
As many questions as you'd like.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna fireball them at you. Let's go. Okay, so first question for you is, how'd you get started? Like, what has been your journey so far with content creation?
Wow, I'm so glad everyone here seems to love ReZero, because holy cow, is it tied into ReZero. So basically, in the pandemic, my whole life I've always wanted to be an actor. I've been training to be a voice actor since I was 13 years old. I'm 26 now. So, yeah. And over the pandemic, CDog VA was talking about this site called Casting Call Club, and that anyone who wanted to voice act could go there and try out. So just as I was going on that, I fell in love with ReZero as I was doing a face mask making business. And I was up with it all the time. I happened to finish season 1 right as season 2 started. And I auditioned for every single ReZero thing that came up on Casting Call Club. After several months, I joined Holographics readings of Arc 5. I really wanted to be Amelia so bad. I auditioned for everything. But I did the audition with only 18 hours left. So I got super drunk before that. Did the audition, hope for the best. Got the part. From a callback, and then after lots of YouTube drama, strikes, channel takedowns, I took over everything for Arc 5. Me and my now boyfriend, Wolf, who plays Subaru in the web novel, we took over with our friends Gold, who plays Roswell and Felix, Conda, who plays Otto, and lots of other friends as well. And now we own the studio, and then I started streaming. And now I'm a VTuber. That's my story.
That is, first off, that's one hell of a fucking journey. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, your
it's
journey,
a lot.
yeah, your journey that you've taken like through so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this down with you, dude. Okay.
I gave you 3 years in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, and the way that you have that like broken down, it's like you're like, I have my speech ready. I know how to come on in here.
My origin story's been down pat for a while.
So, what made you want to become a voice actor?
Fantastic question. Well, I've always wanted to be a Disney princess. It really is as simple as that. I've always loved acting. When I was a kid, I would reenact scenes from like Codename Kids Next Door right after I'd see an episode. I was like number 6. And I was trying to think, well, how can I be in a cartoon? Oh, you got to be a voice actor. That makes sense. So I would start practicing my voices. Some really, really bad stuff was happening in my life. When I was 13, I was in a really bad place, but I decided that I really wanted to work on my acting career. So I would spend an hour a day, every day, except for up to the past 3 years, where now I do it online, where I'd go into the bathroom and I'd practice either singing, imitating my favorite cartoon, or just creating weird voices. And that's where I'm at today.
So with everything that was happening in your childhood, for me, it's sounding like it sort of became like an escape for you, or like a coping mechanism or something.
Very much so. I was very much pushed into academia, and I really wanted to be creative. So academics come easy to me, but I've always loved being creative.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
let me go ahead and follow up with this though, right? And of course, you can always be like, dude, you're shooting in way too deep. But my thing is like, Kyle's, I want to know.
Like, I'm terrified you're getting it right already. Sweating.
Like I want to know the you that makes you you. You know, like sort of the what holds. For example, if I were to ask you this, and I asked SB this question when he was like in here last week, I believe. I asked him, and I'll ask you this question: what version of you, if you were to go ahead and like conceptualize different like eras, different ages of you into like versions of you, for example, elementary school you, middle school you, high school, whatever, right? What version of you caused the biggest dysfunction in your life, and why?
Wow. Can I press all of the above? Oh goodness. I would probably say my high school self. I think, yeah. Definitely. I would go with that because elementary school, middle school were definitely very difficult for me, but I think I really lashed out in high school.
Right.
And that's a part of my time in my life I really regret a lot of the actions I made.
Right. Well,
yeah.
And let's be honest, high school, we tend to make a lot of stupid choices, right? We tend to make a lot of stupid and oftentimes these stupid decisions, I look back at a lot of my high school shit and I'm like, I cringe. Like genuinely from like the bottom. Like,
wow, I thought that was good.
Oh, okay, dude. No, I gotta ask straight up. Were you in any clubs in high school?
Oh my god, what club wasn't I in? I was the super preppy kid. I wanted to be in everything, in everyone's faces. I was in, we called it Voices, it was like student council. I was on the dance committee. I was in the dance club. I tried every sport, even though I'm so uncoordinated. But they always let me in.
Right.
Which was nice. It was out of pity. I played on the boys' baseball team once. That was sweet.
Oh, nice.
They should not have had me on the team, but I really appreciated them letting me. Yeah, everything I could get into, I tried. I went really hard. Right. But only in grade 11 and 12.
Okay, so you're in pretty much everything. So what is the most embarrassing or cringy memory that pops up to you from that time period?
Oh, God. Yeah, okay, I got, yep. No, okay. In grade, gosh, I want to say grade 9. I was very much rebelling from everything I used to be a part of. Middle school, I was with a group of people who would bully me a lot, so I really wanted to get the fuck away from them.
Right.
But I went towards the not nice, not good people. And they would constantly bully me as well. So really was not the greatest choice. But one day I decided someone made a dare and they said, I dare you to shave off all your body hair. So I shaved my arms, my legs, my eyebrows, my everything.
Right.
Showed up to school and no one else did it. And they all laughed at me because they knew I would just follow what they said. It was just the cringiest thing. I hated myself for it because I was like, damn, I really was just a little sheep there. Did not enjoy that.
Well, I was going to say, first off, names. So we can go ahead and beat them the fuck up. Like,
so shout out to Sarah.
But
you suck. Did I give a name change? I did because I'm kind.
Right. But no, like I'm listening to this and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Like going to like, I wouldn't even say that's embarrassing, dude. That's abuse. Like if your friends legitimately like led you on in the manipulative fashion, knowing full well that you're gonna go ahead and take that extra step of like shaving your eyebrows and sort of making a fool of yourself, and they let you fall into that pit, is that really a friend?
God, no. No way. Thankfully, I learned that right after, but yeah, that's well, thank you. That makes me feel a lot better about the situation for sure. It popped out of my head when you mentioned it, so
Oh,
I'm sure
but
there are better examples that were less traumatizing for sure.
but no, dude, like it happens, and like that's why I'm like, thanks for being vulnerable and sharing that, because
Oh,
oftentimes
anytime.
a lot of these questions, like, you know, if I were to ask you, say, an actual leading question or anything like psychologically deep, sometimes it's just like it's the first thing that comes to our mouth and we say it and then we're like, wait, why did we say that? Like, wait a
Yeah, and you're like,
minute.
"Ah, I swear I'm okay."
Right? So a question I have for you is, how
Mm.
supportive are your parents or caregivers in what you
Oh,
do?
fuck it. Yikes. Ugh. Getting a little hot in here. Not very. We
Hmm,
are definitely getting there. I'm sure we can pull some pieces together that it wasn't always the best situation uh, in that department. It's something I talk about with my stream sometimes. I kind of allude to it. My family's slowly coming online, so I'm trying to be as careful as I can
right.
when discussing this, but definitely the past year has been hard. I am a teacher by trade, but I did give it a shot, and it was the worst experience of my life because of just how the school board is right now.
Right.
And my parents really want me to be a teacher, and a lot of my family thinks I'm wasting my 2 degrees
Mhm.
by being a voice actor and an uwu internet girl. So
The ooh,
none of them have. that's that's my label. They also don't like anime, so they don't really give it a shot. And
mhm.
they don't understand the complexity of the work I do with Studio Reverie as well.
Uh-huh.
Until recently. Recently, they're trying. My sister has really helped with that, so which is nice.
I gotta say that sounds rather lonely, dude. Like, not
Oh
have
fuck. No, don't hit me with that.
like
Ah!
I'm just gonna be straight up. It sounds like a lonely experience, and honestly, kudos to you for sticking through something when others tell you not to. And like that's something I can genuinely relate to and say like
Mhm.
it's been one hell of a journey, because even with my family is like, dude, you're a psychologist. What the fuck are you doing? Spending
Yeah,
hours and hours streaming and looking at stuff. But like
but
listening
it's
to
so good.
yeah, but listening to your story, it's like, have you ever felt like the black sheep because of them not being there with you or actually like supporting you?
For one, thank you for sharing your side of things too. It's really nice
Sure.
to like connect with you like that. Yes, I've always felt like the black sheep. It's been how I felt my entire life.
Mm,
So doing this was probably the most liberating. I wouldn't have done voice acting if it wasn't for my ex mother-in-law because I was married at one point.
right.
Uh, I'm sure we'll get into that later. But that the pin in that. But they I think the reason why I stayed in that relationship was so long was because of his family and just how they were the family I always hoped my parents would want to be. I hope they never see this. But yeah, they were always very supportive no matter what I did. They would always make sure I had a safe space. Uh, they were the ones that literally sat down the table in their little movie theater room and set
Mhm.
up my mic for me to get me started on my voice acting. So
Oh wow.
yeah. I said I wanted to do it, and they did it all for me and got me set up and kicked all the people of the family out of the basement for me to record.
Right.
So,
But
yeah.
but through that, I have to ask you, because that's, first off, that's deep how sometimes we see aspects of what we want in our life from other people, whether they're parents themselves, you know, other things like that. But my
Mhm.
question for you is, if we're talking, because remember we're still in like the young period of you, and my question for you is this, like, at what, because I think it happens to everyone. We all realize our parents aren't superheroes and that they have flaws, but some of
Yeah.
us learn that a little bit earlier than others. So when did that come to be for you?
Whew. Quite the young age. My parents were very young parents. And my older sister has Down syndrome, and my little sister also, well, she was younger than me, so she just needed help. So I definitely, especially with my parents working night shifts and weird hours, became the third parent quite early on.
Mm.
So it's forever, forever. I'd say I don't remember a time when I wasn't kind of aware of that.
Right.
As an adult, I do appreciate, especially I'm 26. I would have had 3 kids right now if I were them. I don't know how the fuck they did it. At least it's only one of us that really got screwed over, you know? The other 2 are doing pretty good.
But holy crap, dude. Like, okay, so you being the third parent, right? Like, stepping up in that thing. Did you have a childhood?
Oh, God. We've been talking for no time at all. Oh, God. So this is, wow. Thank you for giving me this platform, too, for this. I don't think I did. I think I'm really kind of living out a childhood now, especially with my streaming.
Right.
I can be as goofy, chaotic, do whatever I want when I want. And I have a lovely community that just supports me, and they're like, yeah, whatever, girl, do you. We're watching.
Right.
But I don't think I really ever had much of one.
Well, yeah, because, like, you're sharing your story, dude, and I'm like, damn, like, you took on the parent role. You were given the parent role. You know, you were sort of, like, being pushed onto this without being asked. Like, what genuine time did you have for you? And my heart's sort of, like, hurting just hearing you say that.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm doing really well now. I'm very lucky.
Okay, so
considering the life I've had, I think I've turned out really good.
Right. Well, I mean, first off, I think you're really well known in the ReZero community. Like,
I think a little. I have no choice. I can't leave it.
Right. But my thing is, you've been through quite a lot, and you're still really strong. Like one of the chatters is saying, like, and for being this vulnerable and being open to talk about it, you know, I appreciate you more than you can know, because it takes a lot to genuinely be open and be vulnerable about situations. Let me go ahead and ask you this question. I'm gonna bring it up from the deepness that we just went into a little bit.
I love deep shit though. It's okay. It does not bother me.
So what made you fall in love with ReZero specifically? Before we get into any spicy topics, because I do have some spicy topics for you.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, what made you fall in love with ReZero?
I think initially, just like everyone else, I definitely saw myself in Subaru. Weird coming from a girl. I know I've seen lots of comments in the community saying this isn't for girls, but I absolutely felt Subaru 100%. Amelia's journey, especially as I'm reading it in Arc 5, I've had the honor to really be able to explore Amelia as myself. There's so many parallels to my life and hers as Arc 5 has gone on. It's nice to have somebody or have this character who's kind of felt as alone as I have in my life, but be able to do well. Normally you see those characters and they're like so awful. And you can kind of see Subaru go through that too in his journey, even in just the anime. And to be able to connect with somebody who always wants to protect everyone around them, but also is a human and makes so many mistakes. It's such a good story. And I love Rem. I would do anything for Rem. That's my final answer.
So you're part of the I Love Rem camp? Okay, I feel it.
Oh, I love her. I would do anything for her.
Oh gosh. Here I am with my Ram in the background. I mean, yeah.
I love Ram too. There's not a single character in ReZero I hate besides Elsa. So don't worry.
Okay, fair. But let me jump forward with this and ask you, have you received what are the most common forms of like hate or troll that people throw your way?
Oh, where's the next chapter? When's the next chapter? Kyle's, this isn't good enough. Give me more chapters. God. Which honestly isn't that bad. I've had worse growing up. People don't comment about how I look, who I am. The worst people are asking is more content, so which is nice. But it definitely puts a lot of pressure on me to get things done, especially because I'm the only manager working on things. A lot of my other managers are very busy with school and life. And
Right.
I've tried to, give out different roles to people, but it just doesn't get done in a timely manner. And that's because I'm not as good as managing as I'd like to be. So when I can handle it all and get things organized and edited, hey, they come out and they actually get done. But it does take a bit more time.
Well, I mean, considering you're the only one in the ship at the moment, you're at the helm of the ship, the captain per se. If you don't have your crew in there, that sounds like a lot of the responsibility is just being placed on you.
Quite a bit. Quite a bit. And we try to work on shifting things around. I mean, my voice actors do the voice work.
Right.
Getting them back on track with their recordings, that could be difficult. Getting them to read my announcements, even harder.
Right.
But yeah, they see the logo and they don't see the person. So it's super easy that people are just like, "Come on, give me the stuff."
Right.
But yeah, and I'm not very forthcoming about behind the scenes unless I'm here with you or they
Oh,
come into my streams and hear me whine about it.
right. Which, ooh, I was about to say, yeah, you do have people in chat saying, like, for example, as much as I want more chapters, I'm just super happy that you guys put out all the words voice act.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I recognize those names. And they're the same names I see in the crowd of all the give me more. They're the ones that do really help too. So thanks, Dizzle. I
But
see you.
let me ask you this, though, right? Because for me, what you just said right now, and sort of the allegory of what's happening right now, sort of reminds me of what you mentioned earlier. And you can be like, Ed, dude, you're fucking wrong, right? Which is essentially you're being given a role, right? you're you're
Yes.
taking charge of this role and you're going through with it, considering there are other people who should also be participating in this role with you.
It's definitely a tricky spot with Reverie because I do understand now if I had not self-sacrificed and taken over Reverie rebranded when Holographic was shut down, they wouldn't be continuing and there wouldn't have been any more chapters past that. And that would have been fine, but I don't know. There's something about this community, even though there have been times where I've wanted to up and leave for several months up until the season 3 announcement. People are very well aware that I've been offering up the server for free. I'd give everything away.
Oh,
But nobody's wanted to take on that responsibility. I get it. I totally do. It's a self-sacrificing, and since I'm not paying anyone, I also feel bad to force people to do things.
right.
I do have lots of help. As momentum gets started, people are like, let me help you. Getting the momentum started again was tricky.
Right. So, okay. I'm gonna go in a little deep again with
Go
you.
for it.
I love the nervous laughter there. You're like, no, here we go again.
I know so many of my team are watching right now. I see their name and I'm sweating. I'm like, oh god.
You're
One
like,
of them's in the other room.
I'm dropping everything now. You're like, oh no. I literally dropped RAM for you just because I was trying to.
Oh my god, rip RAM.
Rip RAM. Oh god. Okay.
Don't even worry. I have a RAM figurine too. All my figurines are gotten for me from like Hollow and Pat, so I have them too. Don't hurt your RAM.
She'll be fine. If not, we'll get another RAM. It's okay. My question for you though is, at least when it comes to, because I'm pretty sure you've seen the waves of hype go up and the negativity also come down on some of these characters, right? What are some common posts or threads or whatever that you've seen out there that have genuinely pissed you off?
One that I clamp down on a lot, especially on the ReZero Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully we recasted this character. But we had a minor voicing a character that the ReZero community has looted for a long time. Now, this was an oversight in casting from the original cast.
Mm-hmm.
I think this VA is absolutely phenomenal. I think they're an amazing person, and we still keep them involved to this day. it's not their fault that they got stuck in this situation, but people were looting this person publicly in a ReZero server, and well knowing that they were a minor. And I cracked down on that very hard with quite a bit of backlash from the spoiler community. They did not like that I interrupted on their conversation, but my VA was really uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable, and as a teacher too, I have a legal right. Any minors who I'm with, I'm legally responsible, including in my server.
Right.
So I don't want to kick any of the people who've been a part of the cast since day one. It wasn't my server then. And I really appreciate all of their work, and they're such lovely kids. A lot of people have gotten mad at me about my stance on that, but I want to make sure they're safe, especially online, but I also don't want to drive them away by my rantings. I've been paying attention to that server for a while. I've kicked out people from Reverie in the past because of their kind of leanings with these people. And it's not cool. It's not okay. Even if they don't mean it like for real, they're trying to be edgy jokers. It's not okay. Not cool.
Well, I mean, you're a mandated reporter as a teacher, right?
Exactly.
So when it comes to situations like this, first off, it's kind of fucked up when it has to do anything with the minor, when any situation like this. But good on you for setting up your boundaries and actually stepping in. As much as shit and like hatred, I'm sure was thrown your way. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, they weren't nice. Yeah. But it was worth it.
And that's exactly why I'm glad that you managed to go ahead and step up and set up your boundaries and give a little bit of a pushback, because sometimes pushback is necessary. Otherwise, how do they know their own boundaries? So with that, let me go ahead and continue and ask you this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about individuals, and this goes for any community in general, that use the hype of a show or whatnot in order to go ahead and target individuals who are minors?
I absolutely hate them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just stray facts. I've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
When I had my class last year, we worked on internet safety, but not like the old stuff that, is really out of date. More so like, all right, you're on VR chat, you're on YouTube, you're in some server on Discord. If somebody's hitting you up, really trying to learn more about you and isn't revealing the fact that they're also like, there's similar things about you guys, you feel a little weird, you got to cut all that stuff off. You don't ever need to feel bad. Nothing needs to happen. I feel like there's so many people who use the being anonymous on Discord a lot, VR chat, to their advantage. I make pranks on VR chat sometimes with people. Right. And there are some people who get very angry when I portray a younger character, which totally valid. I will move on to the next person, but I also try to protect those kids. But there are weirdos out there. And I've always wanted to do undercover stuff to help get those people off the internet, but it's not my place. Right. It's also not my specialty. All I can do is try to teach those around me who will listen.
Well, I was gonna say it's also us, as individuals, we have limited capacity to do certain things, right?
Exactly.
And sadly, I guess when it comes to individuals out there who take advantage or use the show's popularity or whatnot to interact with minors, we can only do so much as individuals, right? We can only step in so far or bring it to the attention of mods or whatnot. So it's a difficult battle to fight. It really is. So let me go ahead and ask you this. With Amelia, right, as the character that you voice and all of these wonderful things, what particularly draws you to her?
Ooh. I think with Amelia, it comes down to her story. When I first watched ReZero, I wasn't too interested in her as much, just because they weren't focusing on her that much at the time. But after rewatching, getting into Arc 5, and watching Season 2, just seeing how kind of a person she is, even though she's been through hell and loneliness and sadness for her entire life, and how she wants to keep bettering herself for others.
Mhm.
It just it's nice to have a character like that who exists and see a strong female character, especially in like a story that's about a young man. And, you know, she teaches him stuff, he teaches her things, and they can both be their own individual person.
Mhm.
Especially in an anime. It's I find anime is very good at portraying that and just having more realistic, I don't know, I guess expectations and representations of how people interact
Right.
and how people can change and do better for themselves.
So, okay, I'm gonna press forward. Now,
Yeah.
now that we're here, and it's particularly with you as a voice actor. What are the thought process? Because, for example, I've done a lot of theater acting, theater directing. I pretty much all over the place. So, my
Love it.
my way of prepping for a character or understanding the character's psyche is, you know, I do a lot of back notes. I do a lot of things before even stepping into a studio, before even stepping out to the stage. What about yourself? What does your prep work look like before voice acting the character?
With Amelia for our stuff, now
Mhm.
that I've voiced her for 3 years, I just kind of go in and do it. But prior to that, I watched a lot of YouTube content. I went back and watched ReZero, but specifically looked for things in her eyes.
Okay.
I also asked a lot of questions to a lot of the web novel readers just to get an idea of her personality.
Mhm.
But because I kind of got a really good insight to her with season 2 of ReZero, I got very lucky with the timing.
Right.
I kind of was able to pick up on a lot of her, like, her vocal cues, I think, were the first thing I learned, like how she really and
Right.
holds those kind of vowels. And then personality, thankfully, the way to pay writes ReZero, he does all the happy stuff first and then gets into the hard things.
Mhm.
So I had a bit of time to get used to her character. But other than that, no prep. I just practiced the voice a few times. It would just roll right up.
You're like, I'm good. Let's go.
I did my bit of research at the beginning. All right, let's do it.
Fair. I mean, and that's why I bring it up. It's because like everyone has a different process for approach, you know. So, for example, what warm ups do you do?
Uh, Sometimes I will stick to just singing. I get very sidetracked when I do like some of the big ones voice actors do, or the buzzing, like the brr, brr, and you hum a
Right.
song.
Hmm.
I will get very distracted, and so will my dog. So I will just sing songs that I know work for my vocal range first, get that going, or talk a mile a minute on stream ahead of time, or even just take a look at the script and read through it quickly.
Right.
Not the best vocal warm ups you should do. You should do more.
But
I
I
get
mean,
distracted.
I mean, hey, you get it done though at the end of the day, or so.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank goodness.
So referencing back real quick, what made you want to go into like you told me you had a bit of a psych background, right? And then you went into teaching and history. So what made you go into that specifically? Like what like when you're in college, university, whatnot, what drove you to be like, you know what, this is what what I'm gonna pick?
Well, my fallback was always teaching. I'd been a
Hmm.
coach for years. My teachers were my everything. I love them so much. I was absolutely the brown noser, no questions asked. And I wanted to make them proud and everything. My best classes and the most fun I had were in psych, soc, and anthro, and history. So
Right.
I'm terrible at English. I only went through with English teaching because it's the easiest way to get a teaching job. So I had to pick English and psych or English and history.
Uh-huh.
And English and history had a more opportunities in Ontario.
You know, fair.
But I really wanted to finish up my psych degree.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get your insight because clearly we connected because of the post that for some reason, I'll be honest, I just did it because I got tired of hearing people like shit on Subaru or shit on Emilia or all
Fuck
of these
those people.
yeah, They're like being like, there's no psychological content behind ReZero and Moshiko Tensei, and I'm like, what the fuck are people saying? Like,
Liars!
you can't be serious. So
they're the ones that watch the first episode and hate Subaru right away. They don't give him a chance.
honestly, though, or there's too many people that are like, oh yeah, Subaru's perfect, and it's like, no, he's a flawed character, which is what makes him great.
He's so flawed and it's amazing.
Yeah. But anyway, let me go to throw this question out there to you. You know, when you saw that coming around you, what was your first thoughts, your impressions? What came through? Like, because clearly somebody tagged you and you came through on Reddit, which thanks to, I think it was Mickey that tagged you. Yeah.
Yeah. One, I was like, wait a minute. How do people at me on Twitter out of the blue like that? The way it showed up. Secondly, it was just very weird timing because I literally saw your tweets on my timeline the day before. And I was like, wow, I really love their work. It's amazing. And literally later that day, I was going to watch your videos. And then I saw the tweet and Wolf, who's my boyfriend, he saw it and he loves your stuff too.
Oh,
and she was like, yo, you should collab with him. That'd be so cool. I said, okay.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. I appreciate him. And by the way, yeah, if Wolf likes the stuff. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Boy is a walking encyclopedia. If you ever want to talk to him, he's a encyclopedia as well.
Yeah, at some point I would love to go ahead and have him on as well. I think that'd be interesting to have both of you on actually and have a talk like just in general about pretty much anything and everything ReZero in terms of what you guys have seen together. So
yeah,
through that, my big question is, you said that like teaching in history was a fallback.
We're coming right back to my parents again.
I like that I didn't even have to ask that. Okay.
I heard the silence. It was violent.
Take us there. What was it? Pressure from their side more so, or was it your own proper decision?
There has been a lot of pressure for me to be the successful one in the family my whole life. I've always, and still do to this day, it's something I work on actively, am always seeking their praise, no matter what I did. Even when I had straight A's and straight, like, perfect marks for a whole year, it was why aren't they all A pluses? I went into teaching because I just wanted to hear them say I did a good job.
Right.
I thought I liked it. I convinced myself I did. But I would find myself, taking acting courses. I would try out for all these different plays. I even in English took drama courses because that's just it. I just kept coming back. And but I also had to help pay for the family too, so I wanted to do something that would give me an easy life. But it's not easy. It's consistent, but it's very hard. And my dad went back to school at the same time I started, so I really also had to make sure there was money coming in. So I had to make sure I was doing something I could actually not fully pay attention to so that I could get by well enough. And teaching people is a lot easier.
Dude,
I do like coaching though.
You're so brave. And
gosh.
Your resilience legitimately amazes me.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice.
And like for me, hearing the fact that like, there was a lot of pressure and you were still thinking about your family and that you had to like, money has to come in some way, shape or form, right? And you're still taking on those responsibilities and jumping in there and, helping out your dad and trying to appease everything. That's another big role that you had to take on there. And honestly, just hearing your like the way that you're telling your story at the moment, I'm like, dude, that's quite a bit. And I have to ask you though, and this might be, I guess, a rough question, but when was the last time that your parents told you that they were proud of you?
Actually, it was yesterday, and it was very traumatizing. Um, my dad is finally getting help with his mental health. He's taking care of it.
Right.
And so in turn, he's helping teach my mom a lot as well, which is really nice to see. It's they've needed it. But my dad sent me a text saying that he was proud of me and they loved me, and I broke down. Thankfully, Wolf was there taking care of me.
Right.
Uh, I was low key worried that he was going to like do something to himself, and he was just saying goodbye. I had to message him like 3 times, be like, "You're not doing anything weird, are you? Like, you sure what's going on?"
Right.
But apparently, they just have come to realize that they're like, "I'm sorry, we work so much, we haven't been able to like take a lot of time to like make time for you, but we love you, we're proud of you." And
But
I didn't know how to take it. It was weird,
right.
but
Uh,
it's nice.
But also that's awesome that you know they did reach out and they did state that, you know.
Yeah,
So with
we are a
that,
bunch of Thunderays, so
well, with that, let me go ahead and ask this: when was the last time you said it before that time?
oh, I don't know. Not too sure. I think I think my university graduation.
Huh?
I missed my teacher's college one because of COVID,
Right.
and I was mad because I missed that opportunity for praise. But uh, yeah, so 2019,
Uh huh.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. Following through with following through with this though, because that's a number of years ago, dude. Uh,
Yeah.
fo-
Great. Yeah.
my question for you is, if you could give your younger self any piece of advice, what would you say to yourself?
I'd probably I'd probably just hug me.
Hmm.
There's really nothing else to say. I think I just needed someone there. So I try to be that person that I needed
Right.
for others. Yeah. Oh, don't make me cry.
Bruh.
Ah!
But I mean,
Fuck
if
this!
but I mean, if you could, like, even
Oh, God.
through, yeah, that's really deep, dude. Like,
Yeah. 6, it's okay, buddy.
and I'm so glad that you feel comfortable sharing this, and I hope that you genuinely feel comfortable, you know, just in the
Oh, yeah.
questions or interactions and everything. But my thing for you is, have you ever given yourself a hug in that way?
No.
Have you
No.
ever, even if it's through like imagination and stuff, imagine a younger version of you and you going up and giving them a hug?
Never like that, but I've written to myself.
Dude, that's awesome. You've written to yourself? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And how was
I'm a
that
bad
process?
hugger. It was a lot. There were 3 big moments in my life where I sorry to get really really in deep. I am okay now before I say something, and I guess a little warning as well. I
Sure.
did want to end things, and I was fully prepared to uh be done with my life. And I was 13, I was 18, and I was 23.
Right.
So yes, that was when I started with the online stuff. And I wrote to myself. I was 24.
Mhm.
Yeah, so 2 years ago. And I said I just kind of responded to the reasons why I wanted to go, and I was like, this is happening right now, but you're gonna find a way to get through this. This person was very awful to you, but they'll never come near you again. You feel alone and depressed and sad right now, but you will get out of this situation as well, and you will be okay.
Right.
And yeah, every once in a while when I really am just down on myself, I'll go reread that journal again and be like, oh geez, yeah, I really went through the loop, didn't I? And
Oof.
just kind of remind myself that, we want to be here. We want to do good stuff, and there's a reason why I like being here.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, honestly, first off, dude, that's if you're gonna talk about vulnerable, that's probably one of the most vulnerable things you can say and share, like your story. So thanks for
Thank you.
sharing that, because that's, I'm very open
Thank you for
about.
giving me a platform.
No, of course. Like I want to. I always say I want this to be like one of the safest platforms out there where you can come in, either talk the horniest talk you want to talk, or
Oh, we'll
come
get that
through.
too.
Yeah, we'll get that too. We'll get to that in a little bit. Or come down and be able to go ahead and be as vulnerable as you want to be. Like I've shared about, for example, I've had attempts as well, right? And
Yeah.
I've had various attempts because I tend to drown myself in my work. Whenever I get
Mhm.
into studying or relationships or stuff like that, like, it becomes like, okay, I have to work forward. Like, I have to go and start planning for the future. I have to go to start making things that like fall into
Yes.
place. And sometimes I don't even see the pitfalls that are like right there. So for you, because you did say that, like, praise is a big thing, something that you were looking a lot towards when you were younger. Did that ever get you in any tough relationships?
Absolutely, it did. And thank you again for being vulnerable too. I appreciate that. I like the confirmation. That was nice. Yes, my first relationship, actually, all of my relationships until now were definitely because of that. But my very first one was very dangerous, and I that was one of the reasons why that second attempt was decided on at one point,
Mhm.
because I they were mentally, physically, sexually
Right.
uh, abusive towards me, and they completely isolated me from my family, my friends. No one wanted to talk to me, and I was only 18 years old
Whoa.
when this all happened, and everyone pushed me away as if I was a full-grown adult that understood everything that was going on, and I had no idea.
Can I share something with you?
Absolutely, I'd love that.
Everything you just stated, and I'll bring it up for because I think this is a good opportunity to go ahead and like show others like an important element.
Mhm.
So they isolated you, right?
Yeah.
Did they ever minimize, gaslight you in any way, shape, or form?
Oh, every day, yes.
Okay, intimidate you from time to time?
Yes.
Any form of coercion or threats, or, for example, sexual abuse, if we're going to be realistic about it.
Yes. My first time was not my choice.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So let me bring you up. What you just described, I think, is a wonderful opportunity for others to sort of see, I guess, a big element.
Mhm.
If you, yeah, I have it on stream at the moment.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Whenever everything that you just mentioned, in terms of like what they can go ahead and like use and do and whatnot. I'm sorry, but he sounds like someone like a manipulator. He sounds like a straight up
Very much.
narcissist, like someone that only prioritizes his needs over yours, and someone that's very, very insecure.
Mhm. He definitely was. And I've been lucky that there was proof later on,
Uh huh.
so that person was kept very far away from me. Yes,
Which
I'm okay. Thank you for checking. Oh,
which he,
sorry. We had a concerned wolf check in, make sure I was okay. We're good.
I was actually just about to check in with you as well because that's deep. Also, Wolf, dude, good job. I love you.
They said I love you. Love you too. There he is.
But yeah,
We'll have
like,
our own digression of that later.
yeah. And that's why, like, I bring that up because you being as vulnerable as you are, and sharing that story for,
Mm,
I think, for others in not just this chat, but whoever watches the vods and whatnot later on, if they're going through
mhm.
something like that, hey, know that there is help out there, but also know that, like, it happens quite often. Like, there are people out there who
Yes.
they don't they don't know how to respect and communicate others in a relationship.
No. And I like the reason why I liked being vulnerable, and another reason why I did want to be a teacher, is I wanted to be able to use my experiences to help others get the
Mhm.
help that I didn't have either. So even though this is vulnerable and stuff, at the end of the day, I hope that it'll help someone
Right.
as well. So that's why I never mind talking about this stuff,
Right. And
especially years and years later.
right. So I guess following through with this, my next question is, with your boundaries and with being able to go out and get out of the tricky situations like this, I'm sure it wasn't an easy ride.
Oh no, not at all. It was very hard. Thankfully, I got therapy, so that was a big help.
Well, that's awesome.
And yeah, and especially since I've joined Holographic and Reverie, I've had such an amazing group of friends surrounded me.
Right.
Prior as well, but it just happened to be that time where some of the most amazing friends I've had have come out at this time, or friends have come back too.
Absolutely. And my thing is, your support network is one of the most important elements and one of the most important things out there, you know, who you surround yourself with and the value of their character. Huge. Absolutely huge. All right. I'm going to ask you a silly question, but I need to ask it.
Yes, please.
What are your tags? What tags are you into?
Like, what kind of tags? Are we talking like,
we're
talking Twitter tags?
Nah, fam. We're talking them spicy spice, bro.
Spicy spice. Oh my gosh. Well, I play hen games. That's my shit.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I do.
Okay, wait. Are there any that you'd recommend?
Yes. Let me find it.
Oh, yeah. You're pulling up a list.
I forget the name of it. It's been a hot minute. Robo Life. Days with Ino.
Robo.
Solid. Yeah, I'll type in the name.
Please.
Memento. Actually, I'll put it in your chat so everyone can be recommended.
Please, yeah, enlighten us.
It is such a good game. You gotta do so much stuff. You gotta like manage your time, space it out. It's like getting Persona confidants, but hen and robots.
Persona Hen Edition. Hey, yo, that's actually kind of... Oh, there we go.
There we go. What are your tags now?
My tags? NTR, ugly bastard. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Call end.
I know, dang, exposed. Dommy mommy.
Hey yo, though.
Hey, yo, it is what it is.
Zombie mommy gets spammed with Demarisk, the lady from Resident Evil, the big lady.
Oh yeah,
She scares me. She scares me.
See, I think some Dommy mommies are okay. Some Dommy mommies, I'm like, ooh. Okay. Yeah, Lady Dimitrescu. Yeah, dude. She's
her.
Oof.
She's spooky. She's also in a horror game. That's just extra spooky. Otherwise, mommies, yes, we love MILFs.
Okay. Wait, dark elves or regular elves? Or what type of elf do you like?
Elves, just any kind. Dark elf, blood elf.
Okay. Are there any shows that you're interested in this season coming up?
Oh, I'm blanking on the name. Give me 1 sec. I am very excited for it. It's a weird one. My anime list. It's when I heard the information about it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be weird. But then I saw the trailer. It's about some guy who gets reincarnated as his idol's baby.
Oh.
Oh God, what's it called?
Wait,
it sounds awful, but
is this? Wait, hold on. Is this Oshinoko?
Yes. Yeah, I want to see Oshinoko.
My chat's gonna fucking blow up.
That laugh is sussy.
I got it right. Okay, hold on. It's because I analyzed some trailers. Yeah.
Yo.
And
Let's go.
And I was putting together a bunch of like character. Okay, I'm gonna be straight up, right? Because beforehand, or what I tend to do is like analyze anime, analyze light novels, video games, everything in between, right? And sometimes I get like for the trailers or the anime or whatever, little pieces of
Yeah.
information from their psychology, and then like I can just throw it out there, like for example with Bochi or with any show, and just be like, oh, this might happen because of this action that's happening here in the future. May or may not happen. It happens, and people are like, you pre-read the light novels and something, and it's like, the fuck I did. I wish I did. That would have been amazing. I wouldn't have to like. I wouldn't have had to be like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and sit here and talk 2 or 3 hours worth of psychology to try and get to this prediction. Like,
Save you some time.
it would have saved me a lot of time. But at the
Oh my
same,
god, did I spoil you?
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, it was.
No.
Oh,
Ugh.
so when you do this, you don't read the synopsis?
No, usually I go in blind.
Oh, whoa, okay. Oh, fuck, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. No worries. It's just that,
Oh
for example, we've had this test going on. I think since I started on Twitch, chat gets to choose like random ass animes, and they've chosen everything, right? Edo Manga Sensei, Prison School, Fate,
Oh, wow.
you name it, and like they just.
Fate?
Yeah, you name it. They just pick the randomest animes and like they throw it at me and they're like, analyze it, like do what you need to do. And I make a prediction, and all of a sudden, all of them are just like, "Oh, wizard! Oh, this, that," and I don't have a reason to read the synopsis, you know, or anything like that. So it's great.
I love that. That's hilarious.
It's great. Keep in mind, by the way, Ed hasn't seen past ReZero season 2. Oh yeah, but he has some predictions that get pretty interesting. Light novel, web novel. Okay, Blade Dragon.
Let's hear your predictions then.
Oh God,
I'm
wait,
intrigued.
of what?
I know it well. Of Arc 5, let's say. So season 3 that's about to come out.
Bro, I don't even know what arcs are.
Sorry. What are your predictions for season 3 of ReZero?
Okay.
Arc 5 is season 3, just so you know.
Yeah, give me a second. My mind is literally recapping season 1 and season 2 at like a high speed.
Do.
Yeah, entertain, like elevator music.
But dun 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 dun. Pew.
Okay,
Ba-na-na.
got there. Sorry, took a while. Had to dust off the old memory files there.
That's okay.
So, okay, in season 1, and I think this is something that I'm getting through with a lot of the threads that I'm making, because, for example, one thing that I kind of want to get your perspective on and your help on as well
Yeah.
is your understanding of Emilia and future orientations. Because I have this whole thread about Emilia as a character, specifically with the growing relationships with Subaru. Because I've done, and you know, sort of her gaining her independence in a lot of ways, like her growing thanks to this relationship that she's having. So
Yes.
we'll go ahead and throw that out there. But anyway, some stuff that I've seen from season 1 and season 2, right? So a couple predictions that I can see is Subaru is more than likely going to have to go ahead and start stepping up and start using his support network that he's already started to form, and the experiences that he's had with the village, whole saving the villagers from echidnas, whatever. Season 1, we had him go ahead and trying to go ahead and save Emilia and the village. So it's been a reoccurring theme, but I think in a larger scale, where now it's him stepping up as the knight that he should be, and literally being able to go ahead and help others out. I definitely see instances where we might get a betrayal in the royal selection, either intentionally or unintentionally, because we have characters in here which psychologically don't make sense. Not don't make sense, but I mean, like, their motives are extremely shady with the interactions that they have with other people. And I don't think it's Priscilla, and I don't think it's Crush, so that only lives Anastasia. And that's where my brain is at, simply because Priscilla's character, as the Dami mommy that she is, as the individual that has Subaru like testing people's metal, right, per se, people think, like, when I was reading that chapter, I'm like, I can tell that people would more than likely think Priscilla's like, oh, she's mean, like they probably hate her character because of how mean she can be. But the way that I'm seeing it, it's someone that wants you to go ahead and stand up and have some guts and be able to go ahead and like show what you truly are and be entertaining, be able to go ahead and improv, be able to riff and show certain scenarios like that. So I can definitely see a situation where, you know, at least Priscilla, I think, is out, because Priscilla, like, in terms of like not being a bad person, because Priscilla is so on top of her morals and her ethical like proportions, the way that she dealt with Subaru in season 1. So now we have Crush, right, which we already know Crush kind of proved herself as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, are we gonna go with Felt when Felt isn't Reinhardt? I don't think so. So who does that leave?
Wow. I'm not going to answer anything because I don't want to spoil you, but holy shit, man. Damn.
So even continuing on forward.
Okay. What? Okay, sorry. What got you to the headspace with Anastasia? Because I know she's just remaining, but is it just because she's remaining, or is there any other things you're feeling?
No. Okay, so two things. In season one, the way she presented herself was very much money talks. And she'll try
Yes.
and my thing is, if it comes with interactions, if we're talking about money talks and she has her own mercenary group and all of these wonderful things, and she's able to go ahead and lead, say, I'm gonna put it in this way, just so it makes sense. And I'm just thinking psychological. This is why I was really good at strategy games and shit, like, because I would always try and think like 15, 20 moves ahead if possible. So if I was in an Anastasia's shoes, right, and I'm thinking money makes the world go round, I can make this empire better with money. You know, I can go ahead and like do whatever needs to be done because of this. Who's not to say that you won't fall for a simple trap of, hey, Kyles, why don't you bring your whole voice acting crew to this city, you know, and you'll get a good lump of sum, you know, and you'll be the only person left. It's a deal, you know, fair trade.
Damn.
Like that type of sscenario, even unknowingly.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking more than likely. No, I haven't. That's the thing. Because like,
whoa.
And my last thing is how to hurt Subaru, right? Which is something that I'm always thinking about because I'm like,
Pei's favorite activity, hurting Subaru.
Right. Yeah. So I have two different mindsets, right? Which is psychology me, normal me, and then what chat likes to call evil Ed. Because it's sort of using the dark version of psychology. And one aspect that I'm thinking is how would I hurt Subaru in a situation where, say, that you're aware of some of his powers in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
It's
Damn.
not physically.
No.
It's not emotionally, but it's psychologically, right? So the way that you would try and devastate him is, for example, if I were to come in, if I was the Sin Archbishop of Wizards, I don't fucking care, I'm gonna make some random shit up. I would literally step on in and hurt him where it hurts the most. And where is all of his paratactic distortion at the moment, which is what I said in one of the threads. It's in Emilia. The best way to hurt Subaru is not by killing Emilia, it's by taking Emilia as mine. And that's what I would do. If I could make
positive you have not watched the Arc 5 stuff?
No, not at all, dude. I don't have fucking time.
What the fuck?
Because
holy.
Think about it this way, right? And psychologically speaking, if your opponent, right, is hurt, like, let's say that he comes back after every punch that you hit him. Yeah. Okay, punching's not gonna work. If you call him names, like, emotionally, and it completely, like, hurts him, is he gonna, and like, or call him names and he comes back? Okay, so then you know that emotionally, it's more than likely not gonna do anything. Psychologically, though, if you find a way to, like, go ahead and torture him, then you have a different story. Also, Niz, guys, for those of you guys who are like, are you sure you haven't read ahead? There's hundreds of videos out there where I do this for every anime. The chat chooses at random, Moshiko Tensei, name it, it's out there, dude. I'm just super duper excited to see what happens. But honestly, that's I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm just saying, if I was in the show, if I were to write the show, and I were to make this psychologically sound, this is where I would take at least one instance of, right? I would take it in the instance of, like, hurting Subaru in this way and having him or her, whoever it may be, if it's Ram, whatever, start taking steps towards self-improvement or either try and distance himself or something like that.
Okay. I won't confirm or deny, but I'm definitely going to say, I feel like even if predictions are right, I feel like you'll still have some elements of surprise with the directions they'll take. It's such a good, like, they definitely made it so all the buildup of the past 2 seasons, it just paves the way for the next season. You're going to love it. You're going to have a field day with all the psychology you can analyze in this season.
Dude, I'm so excited. I also think Echidna is one of the most 5D players out there.
Oh yeah, Ken
Eh,
is wild.
And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she comes back in like the end game. I'm not probably not this season, but I'm talking about like throw this shit like
Final.
yeah, throw this shit to the finals and like yeah, yeah. Okay, Blade Dragon has a question for you, and that's actually a good
All
question.
right.
When you voice act Emilia, how do you put yourself into her mindset?
Oh, fantastic question. Um, well, thankfully for me, especially as of late, I see our cast as my family.
Mm,
So it's very easy for me to put into the emotions of like my connections with my cast when I voice act. In my fighting scenes, I think those are the hardest. Um, unless I have, like someone calling me a name, then it's a lot easier to fight them, of course.
right.
Uh, but I think I really just think about season 2 Amelia at the end of the arc. Um, not only with her confronting uh, herself, her past, everything going on, but just how innocent she still is while also being so strong and how much she's learning at the same time. Trying to keep that in mind while also inputting a bit of myself into her because no matter how hard you try, it's hard not to,
Hmm.
especially with someone like Amelia. So I kind of tried to suss out the chapter. Am I going to be angry? Am I going to be happy? And just know at the end of the day, Amelia wants what's best for everyone and always keep that in mind.
So, ooh, okay. Let me go ahead and jump in here, dude. I adore you. You're
I
so
adore you.
wonderful. You're like okay, jumping in here because I've always wanted the opportunity to ask this, which is, for example, I make fun of Emilia for her innocence, right? I know it makes sense psychologically, and I often throw a jab out there because I'm like, oh yeah, people only like her because of her, like the innocence out there, right? But my thing
Yeah,
is.
what?
My thing is Emilia as a character, and I think I can say this out there, is really well written. It is phenomenal. Her form of change is not a change where she looks in a puddle and immediately she's like, oh, I'm gonna change. At least the way it's introduced in season 1 and season 2, like, it takes her a while to go ahead and like start that process of change, which is realistic. And my big question from
Yeah.
this, considering the trauma, regression, repression, all of that stuff, for you looking in and seeing people criticize Emilia for that innocence, what do you think? What is your common like response to that?
My initial response is always emotional. I get angry and protective because I'm like, of course she's going to feel that way because she's so new to this world around her. She's, been I don't know who has spoilers here, but she is very new to the world around her. And she was alone for so long. So she's only finally getting into a safe spot for her to be able to be her true self and to be able to be vulnerable with the fact that, yeah, I don't know everything. I'm
Hmm.
trying to run the everything here, but I don't know what's happening. Can you all help me?
Right.
And she's also there's a lot of things she doesn't know about because she hasn't been around people for so long. So there's things like relationships she's never really understood or been taught. There's friendships even where she's just so used to being by herself with Puck that she's not used to being a friend with somebody. She wants to, but she also gets confused with how people treat her because she's seen as this royal candidate. She doesn't like that special treatment
Hmm.
and she gets conflicted between, how do I act like a proper person and how do I be Amelia?
Right.
And I feel like people don't give her the benefit of the doubt that she's just a young girl who's still learning about herself and things around her. And I don't know. I think she's a great character. Tepe loves her more than anything, so he's putting in every single ounce of love into that girl.
So through that, I saw a question pop up earlier. What do you guys think, or have you heard, or have you seen Moshiko Tensei? And I guess that's the first question before we continue.
I haven't followed Mishoku Tensei, but I've heard only great things about it, especially from the ReZero community.
Okay.
I've heard the main character is an unlikable Subaru. That's the basis I've heard.
Right. And my follow-up question to this was going to be, What do you think when people use comparisons? I talked about this a little bit earlier on stream, which is
Mm.
when people do like, oh yeah, you know, Subaru's trauma is nothing compared to this person's trauma, or vice versa. We see this with almost any
Oh.
character out there, but what are your thoughts on that?
When it comes down to comparison of trauma, it's not something I'm a huge fan of because we all experience trauma differently. Every character goes through something different. Boy dies and keeps killing himself to redo things. Boy's not well.
Boys
I
not
would
well.
argue he's not well. He has like one of the worst lives, but also a great life. I feel like if we're comparing things for like, oh, a fantasy aspect or like, oh, this character has a similar beginning or a similar approach, then that's like totally valid. It's a good way to get someone in. When
Mhm.
it comes to comparing trauma, it really depends on like the situation, the person, and comparing trauma is also just not a good thing to do, even with shows.
Right.
'Cause
My
what's more worse or better?
well, my thing is, doesn't that just invalidate another person's trauma altogether? Whether
Exactly.
whether it's relate like breakups or, you know, putting someone on a pedestal the way Subaru does or whatever, right? Because at times we've all done silly shit, we've all done goofy shit, we've all been traumatized in some way, shape, or form. However, we all
Mhm.
experience trauma differently. Trauma
We
in
do.
terms of what makes a crisis for a person, it's all different. So whenever I see stuff like that, man, it really grinds my gears. It makes me just want to like scream at them.
Yeah. It's like first reaction, how dare you? Secondly, all right, here's my list of facts.
Yeah, like let me bring in my facts. Oh man. Okay, now I guess chat. Do you guys have any questions for Kyle's?
Yay!
I was about to say for Amelia, dude. Like my brain automatically linked you. No.
How people be. It's how it be. It's okay. I understand. You know what? You didn't call me Kaylee. That's a first.
Whoa. Favorite Kids Next Door character?
Oh god. Oh god. I'm blanking on their numbers now. I really like the girl with the green shirt. I'm trying. Oh gosh.
Number
Kids
three?
Next Door. I think it was number 3. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think she was my favorite.
Who's your favorite
Let's
mod?
I don't have a favorite mod. I love all my mods equally.
We
That
all
was
have
probably
favorite
said by
mods. She's lying.
I know they're all here right now.
What's your favorite type of music?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I like indie alternative stuff, but I also am a huge fan of anime music. It's a weird mix.
Top 5 ReZero questions or characters. Wow. I read that wrong.
You know what? I read it the same way. Don't even worry.
Uh,
That would be Rem, and Rem.
wow, you really like Rem?
I do.
Do you like death grips?
What are death grips?
Actually, yeah, what are death grips? Hold on. I don't even know what death grips are.
In what context? Are we talking about death gripping like a wheel while you're driving? Because I do that.
Oh, wait. How are you at driving? That's an interesting question. Wait a
Want to go
fucking
down a
minute.
traumatic road? Let's
Well,
go there.
oh yeah, the way you said that, I was like, you gotta open up about it now, dude.
I have crashed 3 cars.
How?
I don't drive anymore. Don't worry about it. Poor weather. Living in Canada is rough. Winter driving sucks. Absolutely sucks. 2 out of 3 of the accidents, I was just wrong person, wrong time at the end of a pileup. The first one, too fast, and it was very snowy.
Whoa. I am so sorry, dude. That's a lot of
Oh,
accidents.
that's okay. I like the bus and the train. I just let someone else do it for me. Passenger princess.
Passenger Princess, sub or dub?
Well, I'm a voice actor. I genuinely like both. It depends on the show. Some shows I will only watch dub, some I only watch sub, and ReZero I watch both. And I will interchange.
Do you like any sports?
I played competitive softball for a while, so yes, I like softball and basketball.
I was hoping you were gonna say competitive chess. I was about to be like, let's go.
No, I want to learn chess. I wish.
Oof. Okay. Next question is, which anime character do you relate to the most?
Ooh, wow. I think I am biased, but I think Amelia. I think Amelia, just because she's been there with me for the past 2 years, and both of our stories, especially in this new arc, I'm so sorry you don't know it yet, just really resonated with me. Everything that I've gone through has kind of been pretty parallel with her.
Uh,
It's just, yeah, no one could take her. Maybe Yushio in Summertime Rendering. I love her.
oh, okay. I'll throw this question at you since you're a
Ooh,
Twitch streamer as well.
yes.
When season 3 comes out, would you be down to join us for an analysis? Like,
Oh,
go.
absolutely.
Okay, there we go. We're adding it in.
There you go. I'm gonna also throw Wolf's name into that too, because boy is so good at his ReZero analysis. I just sit there and piggyback off him 95% of the time, but damn,
Damn. Well,
we
there
might
we.
both show up for that.
No, honestly, and I would love to have both of you on because I think this would be a good opportunity to just go in as deep as we can. It'd be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it would be so good.
yeah, if you're interested in that, we'll get that done. We'll do it as soon as season
Yeah, of
3 comes through.
course. But
Prepare to
whenever
go.
that is.
Yeah, whenever that is. Um, what else? Oh, somebody asked, are the questions that we had earlier in the show easier or harder than the ones we're asking now?
Yo, I think the earlier ones were easier because I get stressed with anime questions because I don't. When you say it, people are gonna come after you like, "What? You feel this way? Huh? Huh?" At least
Hmm.
I'm very biased, and everyone knows my bias. But I think the earlier ones were easier.
Right. Okay. Continuing through, I'm gonna make you. We're about to give me your hot take. Give me an anime hot take. I'm curious now.
Anime hot take. Oh
Yeah.
God. I mean, liking ReZero is apparently a hot take, according to some people.
Yeah.
Oh, Citrus is one of my guilty pleasure animes, and I think SAO season 1 is not bad. Those are
Oh,
my two
okay.
hard takes.
That's actually
People,
pretty.
yeah. Season 2 for sure sucks. Season 1, big fan.
What is your favorite if story? No spoilers. That's cool.
I have not actually read any of them. I know Slothif because it contains REM. And that's what I'm here for. I love Lustif, though. I have read that one. I'm a big fan of Lustif. If you haven't read it yet, I think you would enjoy it greatly. It's Tepe's biggest little shit show.
Yeah. Also, what
Yes.
is up, Espiritu? How you doing? SP in the chat. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Okay. Going through and asking you my next question, I guess, which is, if you could change anything about your past, what would you change and why?
Oh, wow. Ooh. The real answer wants to be hidden. Like something outside of myself or something that I could have changed myself?
Okay, wait, hold on. It's interesting the way that you're circling around this. I love the tonality change in that, dude.
I think we know where I'm going with the external, but
Surprise us. How about that? It's up to you. Whatever.
surprise. I'll give both. External, wish my parents would say they were more proud often. Internal, never dated anyone until I was 24.
Fair.
A bit. Just summarize that whole thing.
That was
Yeah.
that is an insane summary. You summarized it in a sentence, dude. Okay.
Make your life easy.
So continuing off of that, my next question is, when was the last time you told yourself that you were proud of you?
Oh God, probably even longer than the last time you asked that. It's something I am working on, definitely. But I have been more proud of, the effort I've been putting into what I've been doing lately. Even if I don't think it's good enough, I know I'm working hard, and that's what matters.
And how are you doing?
Every day is getting better. I think this is the happiest I've been in my life. Even though it's almost the most stressed I've been, just, inflation, rent, groceries, uh, so all that good adult stuff. But uh, yeah, I have everything I want. I'm very
Mhm.
happy, and I'm working towards my goals. So it feels good with the people I love around me. So
Okay, and what are your goals?
my goal is to become a voice actor, and also I would really like to become uh, a bigger VTuber, or at least more prominent in the VTuber community.
Uh-huh.
I think right now it's pretty toxic at times. There's some pretty wholesome parts, but
Right.
I really like just making people's day and having a good time. And being able to do that for more people outside of ReZero, of course, would just make me happy.
Dude, I think that's huge. So let me tell Chad a little something, which
Yeah.
is, as I mentioned earlier, I've been lurking on some of your streams, and sometimes I've interacted recently, but beforehand I would just lurk. I just wanted to see what kind of a creator you were, content creator, whatnot.
That's very wholesome.
Your community, the way that you've built up your community, even through roast, even through all the silly stuff, even going on Omegle, and all of that.
I'm so sorry for that trauma.
No, that was wonderful. That was absolutely. I was driving when. Is it
Not
Mix?
another driver. Bad, bad. We got a driver and a watcher. God damn.
But anyway, like I was listening in on in, and I can tell just almost immediately the way that you build rapport with others, the way that you're able to go out and like do what needs to be done. I'm surprised that you haven't blown up. Absolutely
That's
surprised.
really nice of you.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
well,
My
'cause
community is so lovely. I have one of like the best communities and support around here. E Freddy, you tried so hard, hon. um but yeah, I'm very lucky for who I have. And they're very protective of me too. When someone comes in who's a little new, who goes a little too hard on questions,
right.
they always immediately slide into their DMs like, "Hi, don't hurt my queen. Thank you. Goodbye."
But that's my thing is, I've observed like your community, and your community is actually really wholesome. And it takes a
Mhm.
lot from you as a content creator, from you as an individual to build up that safe space and to build up the ability for people to be able to riff off of each other and be comfortable doing so. And even though you might not see it at the moment and whatnot, but you have like insane potential. Like
Ah.
like I'm literally I was talking to my mods the other day. I was talking to and I was like, I legit have fun in your streams, and for me to say
Thank
that, for me to
you.
stay through and like literally lurk. When I teach mixed martial arts as well on the side. So random little side story.
Love it.
I do like two different psychology businesses, right? I have my own private
Mhm.
practice. I work with, I do play therapy and like psychology, like therapy counseling for populations of like lower income. So I'm usually involved doing play
Oh,
therapy,
you're an
D&D,
angel.
all of that. And then I also like teach mixed martial arts to people in the community so that they don't go back into drugs, and teach
I
them
love
like
that.
UFC and all of that. Anyway, like literal, like a lot of the fighters that come out of the state or place where I'm from actually train with me, which is interesting because I don't look like I'm a martial artist, but I am. With that
That's
being
cool.
with that being said, though, if you can grab my attention, if I have you blasting literally on my lobby or on my like gym, right? And like it's captivating my attention and my like their attention as well. You're doing a great job. I think you're doing absolutely fantastic. And I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of the effort that you put into your streams. I absolutely love the fact that you've built this community and that you're so open to collabing and talking with others. I adore the fact that you have mods that are insanely hilarious and
Yeah.
open to quite literally like being welcoming and at the same time like putting up their boundaries when it comes to new people coming in trying to flame. So with that, with all
Mhm.
of that, dude, I am mind blown by you. I hope you know that, and I'm so happy that you're here. Like,
Oh. Ah! I don't know how to respond to this. Thank you so much. You're so nice. Also, you better invest in a pair of headphones. Nothing makes me cringe more than when people listen to me in public. But thank you so much. That's so lovely.
Bro,
I
here's
love your content.
here's the thing is it's called it's like a psych test, right? Which is if I could put you on in the background, well, in the lobbies, first off, I put on random like VTubers or people that I follow, like, you know, once you go live, because I have control over a lot of like the camera, like the TVs and stuff in the lobbies where people have to wait. So I'll just I'll throw up streams. I don't care. Hey, you're in the lobby. You're gonna watch this streamer, and next thing you know, you have people coming in and being like, "Oh, are they on Twitch? Can we watch them? Can we do this?" It's like, do what you got to do. Like, as long as I'm not putting up my content, it's a-okay. But
I swear, are there kids there? Should I stop swearing?
No, you can swear. It's who you are as an individual. It's totally a-okay. Like my teenagers love you. They were watching you with me the other day.
No.
So
I appreciate you, but fuck you.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that any day. but
for real, I do appreciate you.
No, fuck me. I agree, dude. Like, absolutely. I should not be blasting. I'm
blasting your stuff. That's what you get. Same treatment.
Fair. I know everyone in chat. Fuck me too. But legit, my big thing is, I know that you're gonna blow up, dude. You've been doing absolutely amazing, and honestly, if everyone that watches my streams, if you don't follow Kyle's, dude, I will come after you. I will take away your Dorito privileges. I will make sure that you no longer get on the wheel. So you better go and follow if you guys want to influence anything whatsoever. So
not the Doritos, no.
Oh, you don't know the power of the self-care Dorito.
Powerful.
Okay, so my question for you is, do you have any questions for us?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
Do you guys get this deep all the time?
I mean, we go as deep as people are comfortable doing, you know?
Okay.
So honestly, like, we can shoot the shit 99% of the time. We can literally talk about like 5 dimensions and like astrophysics or whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Chat is saying yes, we're always 100% deep. But one time we were literally talking about like booba physics or like stupid things out there, you know? Physics. Yeah. But it's as much as you want to go ahead and go deep as, you know, that's sort of the main thing.
Okay, cool. Also, do you guys have a Discord or something I can join?
Absolutely, you should join our Discord. I'll bring it up.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
I like all of them. Thanks, Master.
And also, you should maybe plug in your Discord as well. Throw it in the chat.
Oh, sure. Oh, it's a shit show right now, but absolutely.
I'm like, please do. Also, my number one thing is, dude, I want you to feel comfortable that, like, no matter what, if you're like, I gotta jump in, dude, we gotta talk about something. Oh, like, legit, always feel free to fucking reach out. I have an open policy, like, towards like all the streamers and whatnot, where if like, hey, we want to talk about something related to psychology or just laugh or do something, literally all you have to do is like message me real quick, like, dude, I'm gonna hop on, and then I'll bring you on, dude. I don't care what the fuck I'm doing. I might be in the middle of analyzing a show and I'll literally pop you on because it's like, all right, now I can bounce my ideas off of you. Now we can go ham.
Thank you so much. That's so awesome. What the heck?
Yeah, dude. Anytime. Or if you want to play any game like Phasmo, you know, or
oh, fuck Phasmo. I will be your van girl, and that's it. I ain't going anywhere near no house. No way, no how.
Actually, wait. Real question. Do you have a game called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes?
No, but I think I had that on my Steam wish list, if I'm not wrong. I've heard the name before.
I was about to say, after we're done with our conversation, send me your Steam friend list. I'll send you some games so we can collab with later.
Okay. Hell yeah.
You see, even my chat's like, all right, lads, time to gift. Yeah.
That's so nice. Well, thank you. I would love that.
But through that, at least to like wrap this segment up a little nicely for yourself, do you want to go ahead and shout out maybe something that you're going to go ahead and do in the future before we move on to like the light novel reading or whatnot? Like what your plans
Oh
are
yeah.
when you stream so that people can go ahead and follow you?
Yeah, tomorrow actually. So once we're done here, I have to go edit the chapters some more. We're on Studio Reverie. We will be covering chapter 61 of Arc 5 of the ReZero readings. Fully voice acted, and there will be a conversation afterwards. I voice one of the spoiler characters. I'll
Ooh.
drop the link for you. It's a big scene between Al, spoiler character, Felix, Anastasia. So come see. It's
Eh,
been like 10 months of hiatus, so we're
Hey,
back.
hey, yo, that actually sounds pretty hype. Ah, ah, that sounds really hype.
It's so hype.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. Chat. Any final questions before we take a quick be right back, and then I think we'll do the light novel reading if you're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, awesome. Does Kyle's want to read ReZero with you, or is she gonna do editing right now? I mean, she just said she's comfortable doing the reading with us.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind if I pick your brain while we go through it.
Oh, no, absolutely do it. And I'll do the voices along the side too.
Oh shit! Awesome, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, I got one from Budo Sensei. Any advice on staying motivated for a long time?
Oh god, it's hard. I would like to thank my ADHD that is undiagnosed.
Fair.
Or sorry, unmedicated. It is diagnosed. That it really helps me hyper focus.
Mhm.
Other than that, mine is very driven by how people feel. So if I know it's going to help someone, I get it done. If it's only for my benefit, I never get it done. It's never done. My
Right.
dishes are so high. Actually,
Aw.
no, they're good because Wolf took care of them. I lied.
Dude,
They're
Wolf,
fine.
Wolf is a champion, just actually taking care of it. Let's go. Let's go.
He's a champion. He's the best.
All
He's
right.
so shy right
Why is he shy? He's like, he shouldn't
now.
be.
He's just blush.
Well, yeah, you see, even in chats, Wolf's the Chad. Yeah, yeah.
Wolfie Chad.
Wolf the Chad master. Oh, wait. Oh, gosh.
Chad Baru.
Chad Baru and Super Seducer. Why is that a thing I need to see at some time?
Oh, it's okay, buddy. It'll be okay.
Aw. Anyways, chat here on Twitch. Hey, give us a quick be right back. I guess we'll be right back in a little bit, little potty break. Go get some water, get what we need to get, and then when we come back, we'll go ahead and do the reading. So, thank you so much for being here, Twitch. We'll be right back.